Many people move through their lives putting on display, trying to be perfect. And when they finally stop being perfect, I find that's when life actually improves and gets better. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that nobody's perfect. People get caught up in the trap of like social media, consumerism, materialism, and they're getting trapped in these things because they don't actually like these things. They're liking them for the wrong reasons. They're liking them to get other people's approval, other people's external validation. And when you think of something like social media, this is a huge trap. This is a huge thing. And what social media is showing you, especially things like platforms like Instagram, it's showing you the best moments of somebody's lives. It's like a highlight reel of their lives. It's not showing you all the hardships and the bad moments of their lives, like going through going through a divorce, going through a death in the funeral, or getting fired at your job. You're not going to show these things typically when like on Instagram. You're not going to show that. You're not going to post these things on social media because they're very vulnerable. You're in very vulnerable states, and I've fallen into this trap too as well, where when I went traveling for about 7 or 8 months last year. I went through Europe and I went through like Africa. I went through Turkey, and I'm not a big social media guy, so like I do have an Instagram account, but I typically delete the app when I'm at home. I just want to be more focused, and I feel like it does improve my quality of life. I find that, like, I know this is just like my opinion, but I find that it can be very toxic and it's very overwhelming. It's very stimulating for me, especially if I haven't had the app for a long time. And so I don't really have it. So right now I've deleted it. I don't use Instagram, but I re-downloaded the app when I was traveling because I figured that it would be good to meet and connect with people. Get their detail, their contact details, so we can keep in touch and just chat, um, and I could see like where they were traveling to, so that might give me ideas of as to like, where I wanted to travel to next. So I did meet a lot of people, and it was very useful and convenient for that way. But I found that I found myself to be posting a lot more than I normally would, and sometimes I would make multiple posts on Instagram from like the same country, and sometimes I felt like I was overposting. Meanwhile, like, mind you, I feel like a lot of people were posting on their like Instagram stories. Let's say, for instance, for like 20 or 30 times a day, which to me was I felt like was a little overkill. And but for the amount of times I was posting, I felt like that was a lot, and I felt like sometimes I was posting just to chase people's validation, and that's the honest truth. I feel like I was. And so when I got back from my trip, I was I was caught in this trap of like transitioning from wanting to delete the app of Instagram again and still wanting to use it, still um, being caught in like comparisons with other people, seeing that people are living out different experiences that I had, meeting different people, eating the food, and like everything involved revolved around travel. And it was hard for me. It took me for a few months to properly permanently delete the app again and get back to my life. And obviously I was going through a lot of things in terms of transitioning back to real life too, so that was all part of it. But my point that I was trying to make was like, when I was traveling, I was posting on Instagram. I was posting all the photos that I wanted everybody to see, all the highlights. But what people don't see are the really hard times, like when I was in Morocco, when I got food poisoning multiple times, or you know, maybe I fell in love with a girl that obviously I couldn't have. We went both of our separate ways, and I got my heart broken. Or missing that bus in Italy or something. So these are all things that would happen to me, and I'm not going to broadcast this. I'm not going to show people that these things are happening to me because in those moments, those were hard. And so that's the point I'm trying to make. Nobody's perfect. And I think life just gets better when we stop pretending to be perfect. And another really good example is like thinking about this YouTube channel. There's so many times like in my earlier videos where I was editing videos, and I wanted to, curate the best parts of the videos, and I wanted to say the right thing and come across sounding very smart, sounding very intelligent. But recently, um, I've been trying to really work on creating these videos, and by a sense of like work on my communication. So I've been um, trying to like film a video every single day and like really work on my communication, because it's gonna. I think it's gonna also help humanize my videos a little bit more, and it's also gonna help me in my regular everyday life when I'm speaking to people at work, when I'm speaking to my friends and my family, or if it's like a new acquaintance that I just met. So I want to just be more real and be more authentic. I want it to come out more raw, with very minimal editing, and um, and I can tell that I am getting better at that. So, and yeah, I think that it's important for me to still leave in like the ahs and the ums, and still keep in the filler words, because it just it just makes me more in a vulnerable state, and I want to show that side of me. I want to show that side of being vulnerable, and being more human, and trying to connect with an audience that will appreciate that, right? And so that's what I've been trying to do, and this sort of aligns up to this this idea. I was reading this one book. It's a book by Mark Manson, and he was talking about this idea in this book about why it's important to try less. It's kind of opposite to what we're taught. When you try as hard as you can, usually results tend to follow. But what happens, in my opinion, when we try hard, like we try so hard to achieve that promotion. If we're running a small business, we put in so much time and effort into that, or we try really hard to get a girl. Typically, what happens is, in my opinion, it ends up like backfiring, right? And because we're putting so much time, energy, and effort and thought into achieving this thing, we are consumed by it, and we tend to overthink. We're overthinking achieving that thing, attaining that thing, climbing that mountain. But when we take a step back and we relax a little bit, take a deep breath, that's when, and we think about it less, that's when the results tend to follow. And that's when things start to improve, because we're not thinking about doing the thing, we're just doing it, we're just taking action, we're just, like, we're doing the thing rather than thinking about it. So that's one thing that I've really appreciated about that book, and it's really helped me think about like my own life. Like sometimes I'm overthinking about something, or I'm worrying about something that's out of my control. But when I take a step back and I just simply stop worrying about it, and I I don't know, like I just it helps me take action, it helps me do the thing rather than thinking about it. And I found that my life tends to improve more, right? And the way I think about this as well is, I'd like to I think it's really important just to accept who you are. Accept when you're speaking, like accept the way that it comes out, accept that you're not perfect, accept your flaws. Because like I said before, it does make you feel more human. It makes us feel like we're part of the tribe, because no one's perfect. Everyone has their flaws. Everyone has so many problems and issues that they're hiding from other people. And once we realize that, that can bring us more peace. So um, that's where I want to leave the video today. So thanks for watching today's video. I really appreciate you stopping by, and we'll see you in the next one. Okay.